I am your host with the locks that rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma, and I am joined by a couple of gentlemen who just lit the DEB concert stage on fire inside of the Roadhouse stage at Rocklahoma. What is up, Color of Chaos?
How you doing?
What's up? So, how are you guys doing?
Great.
We are doing great since we ate lunch. Now we're even better. But yeah, it's a great show. It was a great show.
Good. So, you guys tell me a little bit about playing in Oklahoma. How's Oklahoma treating you?
Oh my God, it's since this time around, Bill Wilmer Presents brought a whole different ball game for us as far as playing the DEB stage. We played here 3 years ago, and it was just the experience. It was a great time then, you know what I mean? And the humidity is a little new for us, even though we're from dry heat from Arizona. But overall, we do have a great time. But this time around, I think they treated us just as better than we have in the past. And I think the perks were way better, and they just recognized the backstage over there that we're more than just a small band. But it was a great time. This was probably our best time so far, and he's been here many times previous with Bang Tango. So yeah, I mean, he's got the rockstar experience all the time. But for us, this is great. It's been great. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it, guys. So tell me a little bit about playing today. How was the set?
I'm going to tell you what. This is our second time playing Rocklahoma, and Rocklahoma just brings it, man. These guys are just animals. And I don't know if some of this got rained out, so there was a little bit, yesterday what happened. But people were there bright and early. I mean, we're the second band of the day, and they were just there and meant business, man. We had them from the first chord to the last crash, and just the energy, dude. We love it in Rocklahoma.
Great crowd. Awesome crowd.
So tell me a little bit about the Color of Chaos sound. So how would you describe yourselves? Like, if I'm the first, some of us saw you for the first time. Tell us a little bit about from your mind to ours.
I think Color of Chaos, we're just a rock band. And we don't try to stick into, oh my God, we got to sound like this, we got to do this, we got to do that. We just open up the door, invite you in and just go, this is what we got cooking today. You know what I mean? And we've been pretty, we're going on almost 10 years now. We've been pretty successful of just doing it. Our lyrics are about real life, troubles with people, stories of people. We're not writing about partying, you know what I mean? But the way we present it is a party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you can connect with your soul to what we got going on.
Well, as far as the sound, I can't categorize as 80s rock bands because we've been together the last 10 years. But you can think of maybe the 80s rock sound, not the 80s hair band stuff, but the 80s hard rock before it got glammed out, to what's currently happening with the sound. We're not the metal, thing. So yeah, you can put us in the Dorothy category. It's hard rock, with a little bit of heaviness to it. So we'll go from a ballad to a slower song to a heavy song, and then back to a mid-tempo song and throughout. It's just, yeah, like I said, if it sounds good to us, that's what we play. So you could put us, in the early hard rock of the 80s to whatever it's, a little bit of 90s or 2024 hard rock that's out today. So that's pretty much how you can compare us to both.
So can you tell me a little bit about the writing process for you all?
Usually, I mean, the band started on the back of my suicide note. So, and I don't share this because I want sympathy. I just, if this story could help somebody out, more power to it. I was in a dark place, was going to do it, and some girl who I never met, I used to always say that I was broken, and she texted me that day that she knew that I was going to do it and said, "You're beautifully broken."
Oh,
and I flipped over the paper and wrote the song "Beautifully Broken." Then I wrote the lyrics to a song that we got called "Hate" and another song called "Hollywood." And we just write these lyrics, like I have a song about him, I have a song about his son that he lost in Afghanistan. It just real life, type experiences.
I like that. I like it. We're going to hit pause on the interview just 1 second. I got some feedback somewhere, so I'm going to clean that up.
Okay.
Let me see your mic. You know how that goes. All of a sudden, there's something weird going on.
It's the energy.
Yeah. It might have just been me, and it was just me. See, that's how you catch shit.
It's a new outfit for you, dude, over there.
They're out doing interviews, so it must be like a Steel Panther.
A lot of bands still dress like that.
All right, much better. So sorry about that, gentlemen.
No worry.
It happens. You know how it is.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to pick right up where we left off. So you guys were talking a lot about the writing process for you. Is it a collaborative thing, or do you have roles, or how does that work for you all?
We always sit down in a room, and he'll start a riff, and then I'll be like, let's tweak that or tweak that. Lance goes, let's tweak it. He plays the bass. And then our singer will come in with some good sort of melody, and then from there, I kind of take control of it and produce it into something. You know what I mean? Okay, I do produce it into what it becomes.
So, but so how does compared to past works and mix that in with current works? How does that evolution work for you all? Do you guys tweak the process, or are you still figuring out, or do you guys got it down? This is how it works.
There is no formula. I mean, I think the only part of the formula is all guitar players noodle when they're waiting for other shit to go on in the room before you start, and he'll be noodling with something. I'll be like, hey, that's cool. Let's flesh that out, and we'll spend 5 minutes on it. And try to structure it, and we record whatever he noodled, and then we'll come back to it.
Right. Do you catch her name before you noodle?
Do I what?
Do you catch her name before you noodle?
Yeah. We always name her. Sugar Plum.
Sugar Plum Honey Bunch, right? That's a new song for y'all. So what's next? So we've seen you on the DEB concert stage. We know a little bit about what goes into y'all's process. What's on the horizon?
We did a song for a movie that Lance is going to be in, or that Lance is in, that should come out at the end of the year, called Bunker Heights.
Ooh. I've heard of this.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about this.
I'll let you say it.
A buddy of mine, the director of it and the writer and pretty much everything in it, Drew Fortier, he asked me if I wanted to be in it. It's a horror movie. And just flew out to Cleveland for a few days and did a few scenes. I got about 3 lines in the movie. I get killed at the end by one of the monsters, so it was a blast. But he's a good friend of mine. He actually was a rhythm guitar player for a short amount of time in the Bang Tango with me. He also directed and did the whole Bang Tango documentary.
Nice.
And so he's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and he's a fan of Color of Chaos, and he just asked if we got some stuff that he could maybe do for the soundtrack. So
that's awesome. I did not expect a deep cut like that. I saw it on Facebook, and then I was like, wait, hold on a second. Can you tell me a little bit about producing something for a project such as that versus putting something out for an album?
Basically, when we found out that when Lance came back, he says, hey, Drew's looking at some music. I'm like, that's cool. And we were in rehearsal, and I said, ask Drew real quick if he wants us to write a song. And at the end of rehearsal, he goes, oh, yeah, Drew said, yeah, write a song. So on the way home, I was like, a horror movie, a monster inside of me, right? So I come home, it's 10 o'clock at night, start playing the piano, wake my house up, and I'm recording, monster inside of me. I had the hook.
Yeah.
Send it to the guys in the band. I don't get nothing. I don't get crickets. I don't get that sucks, that nothing. And then we got busy through the holidays, and I knew the deadline was coming up. And so I just flushed out most of the song and said, hey, we got to get this song recorded. Lance had never heard it. Our singer never heard it. He heard it a couple times because him and I flushed the guitar part out. I'm a horrible guitar player. He makes the song what it is. Yeah. I just give the root, You know what I mean? I'm giving him the ingredients. He makes the meal. You
I
know?
feel that.
And we went in the studio, and literally in 8 hours, everything that was in my head for this song ended up being the song.
That's awesome, man. I love the way stuff collaborates and
Yeah.
like genesizes out of that stuff.
And there's a lot. When you're in a band, there's a lot of egos come into the creative process. You
Sure.
know, when you start a band, there's one guy that hey, I got 3 songs, you know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
good songs. So that's why you join the band. And then as the band progresses, you know, wives, girlfriends, friends, hey man, you should write your song in the band.
Right.
And that's where the friction does. And we've pretty much evened it out now, where it's just like, okay, it's time for something new. And I'm always like a fly on the wall when they're noodling.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, that's rad. Can we do that? Hey, let's try that there. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
for me, that's my favorite part of being in a band.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just seeing like the little clips and then like making something big out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So you've played Rocklahoma. You've got some great music out. You've got plans coming up on the horizon. Tell me a little bit what's on Color of Chaos's agenda. So like what's the goal that you all haven't achieved just yet, but you're still reaching for that brass ring?
When I started the Color of Chaos project, I promised him that we'd play Jimmy Kimmel. Still haven't gotten there. You know, the thing of it is all BS aside, our average, if you totaled up our ages, we're like 230 years old is the average, you know, the combined total of our band.
Right.
Our ship has sailed. Everybody wants young, you know, sexy out there, you know, and all that stuff. They don't want some old dudes. But for us, we're
Oh shit, there are some of us that love that.
okay. You know, they also say that dad bods are hot, so you know.
Oh, you are.
Okay. All right.
Stop.
All right. Thank you.
Stop.
No, but the sad reality is anybody that wants to invest money, they want the young guns. You know what I mean? The moldables and all that stuff. So, you know, for us, we're able to be an unsigned band, and we play incredible. Like last year, we went out with Megadeth. You know,
Wow.
We play a lot of big openers that come through. We get a lot of opportunity. You know, so to at least for me in the band, music has become my dirty mistress. It's like she's never going to give me exactly what I want, but just enough to keep me, you know, coming
Just
around.
enough to keep you hooked.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
So how is that? So you guys are touring with like, you know, legendary bands, but being an unsigned and independent, because being independent has its perks,
Oh yeah.
but it's also like you gotta hustle, you gotta like really whore yourself out. So how does that like compare with like touring with the folks who's got everything taken care of them versus somebody who's like we're here on our own dime?
We will ride
That's today.
we will ride the shit out of somebody's coattails.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're
You
not
never-
afraid of it.
You never know what kind of crowd, you know, a lot of these bands have their built-in crowd and very loyal, especially bands like Megadeth and Tommy Vex was another one that's kind of outside of our genre, but you never know what kind of crowd you're going to get and if they're going to accept you or not. So we've been actually very fortunate that we've gone over really well with those.
Our very first show was with Scott Weiland on the tour that he died on.
Oh my God.
Our second show is with
Jeff Tate.
Jeff Tate when he was out. Our third show is with Steel Panther, and you could not squeeze a fart into the venue, dude. That's how packed it was, elbow to elbow.
Oh my
You know what I mean? Just a hot, sweaty orgy of just music and mayhem. And like I said, for an unsigned band, we've had a great life. You know,
I'm saying.
and we'll just continue to do it. You know what I mean?
Man, Steel Panther, those guys freaking crazy. And some of the other names you named, you know, they are too, but they're not like proud to be as crazy. Can you tell me a little bit about how that affects you guys, where you guys have some like they take shit uber seriously, and then there's some like, man, we're just here to party.
Well, there's a lot of egos from the bands we played with.
Sure.
I mean, I can name off a bunch of bands, and you would probably at one point encountered
Yeah.
them that some are cool,
Yeah.
you know, with you, and they respect, you know, your whatever. And there's some bands that are they're just not cool. You know what I
Right.
mean, I'm just gonna say it. That's a nice word.
Yeah.
To some of the people we've dealt with, and you know, and just some of the. It's just surprising how some people get treated by others and stuff like that. But it's just like I said. We've done a lot of good shows with a lot of great bands and stuff like that. So it's just been pretty cool. That's all I can say. In our later part of our careers, we've just had some great opportunities. You know, I mean, like I said, we don't make any money, but with the money we do make, it does finance our trips. Like here, you know, it did last time. This time we go to Vegas or whatever, wherever we can go. We don't pocket the money, but we put it, you know, and it pays for itself. So the band doesn't have to have anything out of pocket, especially because he likes to eat expensive steaks that way out of our price range. We have Taco Bell budget. He eats freaking filet mignon type situation.
Let me tell you, you mentioned Vegas. I was on a work trip. I scrimped and ate McDonald's like every day, and then last year I went to Vic Anthony's down at the Golden Nugget. Yes, this man knew it.
Is the bomb, dude. Oh my God, we just played Vegas in January.
Yes.
And my mother-in-law was like, you guys need to go to Vic and Anthony's. And I was like, oh my God, dude.
That's like Sinatra shit in there,
my
right?
God, that was the best. Was that not the best steakhouse you've ever been to?
Oh my God, and the beer onions.
Oh,
my
God.
gosh, yes, best steak.
We ate at the buffet.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's the one time in my life I spent that much money on a steak, and I have no regrets.
Was it like it was almost up there with sex?
It was. I was very conflicted. Yeah, but hey, who doesn't like a nice piece of beef, right?
I shit when they brought me the bill. I was like,
This way, his pants were wet. He had a wet spot. Yeah, I mean, how he just got so excited over that steak.
If you know, you know. I saw his eyes, the
as
look
soon
in
as
his
you said
eyes.
Vic and Anthony's, I was like,
Oh man.
damn, take me back.
But see, that's the great thing also about touring. You guys get to check out all the different places, the eateries, the food, the culture. Everybody's different.
On the plane ride in yesterday, we were looking out the window, and he's like, I should have brought my fishing pole. and I was like, you know we ain't got time for that shit. You know, a lot of misconception is that we get to see a lot of stuff.
Right.
And a lot of the shit we see is out the window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know what every truck stop and gas station looks like, you know. And
you know about Buc-ee's.
And we know what airports and how to navigate these airports and the car rentals and stuff like that. you know. But it's just, especially being on site, it's not the Ritz-Carlton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the Motel 6.
I've been all over the world.
Lance, tell him about your
Rarely.
European tour.
Yeah, over in Europe, I rarely saw any
Sightseeing.
There's
no
Parliament,
sightseeing, no
big van.
touristy stuff.
He slept through everything.
Yeah, you're usually hungover. You want to sleep while the buses travel into the next city, so you miss everything, or you just look out the window.
Yeah. Well, when I toured with them, I was in Bangtango for a short moment, and we did the run with Fast Pussycat.
Right.
I swear to God, they would wake up, you know, a lobby call, wake up, go to the SUV that we're traveling in, and they'd fall back asleep. You know, and of course it was really my first tour, and I just stared out the window, just looking at everything just go by, because for me it was.
He's up at
seeing-
5 a.m. taking selfies out at
walking
the water
around, drinking some
fountain.
coffee,
and-
whatever, and they're like sleeping. You know what I mean, till we get to the next town, and they're like been there, done that. I really love seeing the sightseeing, but that's as far as you got. You know, you
Right.
don't have a whole lot of time. You pull into the city, unload your gear, sound check. You might have a shower, get back, and then you play your gig. You sit there and wait, and then you pack your stuff up, and then you're in the car and go back to a hotel room, and you're out the door again. You know, so you don't get a whole lot of definitely sightseeing unless you're in a place 2 days. You know, you get 2 nights, and you
Right.
might be able to see something. You know what I mean?
I love it. Well, guys, I know you all have a busy schedule, and you guys fucking killed it today. So
Thank you.
We really
Thank
appreciate you guys coming and visiting and sitting down with Surviving Rocklahoma. And before I let you guys go, I like to give every one of my guests an opportunity to look at the camera and directly acknowledge your fans, the folks who watched you play today, and just let them know what's on your mind. So, gentlemen, if you would look at the camera, the mic is yours.
Thank you so much, Rocklahoma. We love you guys. Stay safe out there.
You guys were amazing today. I appreciate it.
We will see you
Thank
again.
Yeah, Rocklahoma, you definitely brought it. We felt like we were, like we were loved. So that you guys were awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Peace, love, God bless.
All righty. We appreciate you guys once again for Color of Chaos. I'm Adam Richmond. This is the official podcast of Rocklahoma, Surviving Rocklahoma. And until next time, rock on.